mark a little bit or whatever. Sometimes it'll, well, I've had it happen several times, it won't recognize the controls or something when it initializes.
Okay.
So what I've had to do is just reboot it. There's a surge strip in the back.
Okay.
And you see that, Will? There's a switch right there.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. So just turn that switch off.
Okay.
Typical computer, turn it off for 15 seconds or so, turn it back on, and it heals itself. So one little thing to remember there, if it ever does it to you, it may not. One other thing on the weather, if somehow you ever accidentally put in Cumulus, the simulator is uncontrollable.
Really?
I'll tell you right now, you won't be able to fly it.
Okay.
When I first set it up, it defaulted to Cumulus, and I had to call the people. So this thing it's not working, it's broken. Anyway, so make sure you have Stratus, low Stratus on that lower cloud selection. And then your winds are over here, if you want to set wind. So here's direction, and then here's wind speed. Okay, so when you get to the point where you want to throw a little more challenge to it. And then there's some different weather parameters here for visibility, precip, etc. But you know, you can't hurt anything. If you find that the weather isn't to your liking or not suitable to the training that you're trying to do, just you can go in and change it. And so again, that's just back on the main page, and then set weather. And it'll take you to that weather page. Okay? Which I'm sure Tom showed you. And then if you come out here and there's a different aircraft configuration loaded, you go to the very bottom and it'll say aircraft. And so here's our Cessna 182 RG.
Okay.
If for some reason, well, let's just change it. So you go to load aircraft again on the main page, bring that up, and it'll take some clicking around on your part to figure it out. But right now we're on the 182 RG. Go up to the very top, and it'll pull up a little sub menu there. Go to Precision Flight Controls Aircraft, PFC aircraft. Click on that, and then that'll bring up the fleet of aircraft. And let's say, typically Tom and I are going to have a Beechcraft in there. So then we'll just open the Beechcraft selection and then singles. And then have to open that. And then 836 is that single Beechcraft selection. Open that one more time. And now this is the one that Tom and I have in typically, the 836 without the ADF. And then there's your different panel.
Oh yeah.
The higher performance airplane configurations in the sim, most of them have an HSI, as you see there. And you don't have an HSI in your airplane, right? You just have VORs and a directional gyro. So trying to keep it closer to your panel, we'll just go back to the 182 RG. So we'll load aircraft again. And we have to click on that to get to the PFC aircraft. Click on PFC. Now we're going to go to Cessna. And open that. Go back to singles. Open that. 182, it defaults to that, I guess. So we're going to open that. And then the 182 RG Turbo, that's as close as we're going to get to your Mooney, probably, as far as the panel and the performance. So now we're back to a directional gyro, 2 VORs, and
is there any way to get a little more vision out of the top? Did they come back around the ladder, break out of the clouds or anything?
I hesitate for a second because it seems like Tom and I did stumble onto a setting that, but what it did, it eliminated part of the panel. It took you to like a VFR kind of a setting. And that's actually a really good point. Good question. The sim being one monitor like it is pretty much set up for straight in approaches. If you do a circle to land approach, it's going to be really difficult to land because you don't see the airport.
Right.
Or an alpha approach of some sort where the airstrip's going to be more than 30 degrees to one side or the other in the case of an alpha. So it's more set up for the straight ends for sure. But Will's not going to let you land anyway. You're going to go missed every time, right?
Leave it on the instructor.
And then again, I don't know how much Tom showed you, so if I'm repeating his instructions, forgive me. But so upper left-hand side of this master page, main page, is the airport selection, and
Like we did Marysville when he was here.
okay. Now, if you want to reposition the aircraft, you can just click on this airport window
Okay.
and backspace. Go ahead and leave the K in there.
Okay.
And let's say we're going to depart Chico using one of their departure procedures. So now we have CIC in the window, and it then automatically brings up the runway selections at Chico. Now, we're still at Orville. You have to actually pick a runway at Chico to then reposition it. Boom, now we're in Chico.
Okay.
And then after we do an approach, I'll show you one more thing. I'll explain it a little bit, but let's say I'm going to put you back at Orville here. And now this is one, I haven't updated the X-plane database, so it still says 3.0. As you know, we're 3.1 now, of course. Okay, so I'm going to put you on 3.1. Let's say we take off from Orville and we shoot the ILS into Marysville. Actually, maybe we'll do that in a minute. And go ahead and you do the ILS, you land the airplane. Well, now you want to come down to the glide slope and see how you did. To do that, you'll have to put the destination airport in this upper box.
Okay.
To then bring up the flight path of where you just landed. Okay, which is a really awesome feature, on the thing. So you can go back, you can track, you can see how well you did on the glide slope using that feature. So let's see. Anything else? Oh, one more little thing. It just bugs me, but there's no getting around it. When you input flap, the program or the software, how they designed it or wrote it, it exaggerates the balloon effect. So you put in 10 degrees of flap and whoa, it'll want to balloon more than your aircraft ever would. So you just kind of catch that, you kind of be aware of that possibly. That's about it. You really can't hurt anything. If for some reason you get some settings in there you don't like or the weather, just go back in and reset it.
I was going to ask you if you could make up some type of paper show that I have an interest in this. You guys do anything like that?
Oh, what's that?
So that I have an interest in this. Can you make up some kind of piece of paper?
Oh, I left a receipt out here for you.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Tom gave it to you. Yeah, I did. I typed up. I'll dig through here. It's in here.
Fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't see it, so I thought you got it maybe when you met Tom. Oh, you bet. No, you absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Heck, you know where the key is, so.
We'll just fly the airplanes.
we're pretty casual with the whole thing.
Yeah, that's nice. Looks like a lot of fun.
It's just been an awesome tool for me. We didn't have a chance to talk much that one day we met out here, but so I went to Arizona. I went to Shebley in Sun Valley, Arizona, I think it was. One of those 10-day courses. And I was pretty well prepared, so for me it was more of kind of a polish up and take a check ride kind of a course. But having said that, I